The lights came up on the stage, and the crowd hushed as the debate began. The camera panned across the podiums, where former President Donald Trump stood in his signature blue suit and red tie, his arms folded confidently. Next to him, Representative Jasmine Crockett stood poised, calm, and ready. Asterisk the moderator, seated in the center, welcomed both participants with a rehearsed neutrality. Tonight, we're joined by former President Donald Trump and Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett to discuss the future of American leadership. Asterisk Trump leaned forward toward the microphone, flashing his familiar smug grin. Frankly, nobody knows politics better than me. I ran the country better than anyone maybe in history. Jasmine's just here because they needed someone to fill time. Asterisk Jasmine smiled slightly and glanced at him. Actually, I'm here because facts still matter. Unlike your tax returns. Asterisk a wave of laughter rippled through the audience. A few people clapped. Trump blinked, taken off guard by how fast the momentum had shifted. He recovered quickly, at least, outwardly. Asterisk, that's fake news. I have tremendous finances. Incredible. The best, ask anyone. I've created so much wealth. Asterisk Jasmine interrupted gently, not raising her voice, but slicing clean through his bravado. Right. Just like your healthcare plan we've been waiting on since 2016. You remember? The one that was always 2 weeks away? Asterisk a collective gasp swept through the crowd. Someone in the back muttered, "She's not playing." Asterisk Trump's mouth opened slightly, his eyes darting from Jasmine to the moderator and back again. The charm he normally relied on wasn't landing. The usual applause was missing. Asterisk, I did have a plan, he said, voice rising. But they blocked it. Everyone blocked it, even Republicans. Saboteurs. Bad people. It would have been beautiful. Asterisk Jasmine raised an eyebrow. If by beautiful you mean imaginary, then sure. Asterisk Trump clenched his jaw. This wasn't going the way he expected, and it was only the first 5 minutes. Jasmine Crockett didn't waste time. With the calm precision of a seasoned attorney, she reached down and picked up a folder from the podium, flipping it open as she spoke directly into the camera. Asterisk, you said you were the most transparent president in history. But here's the reality, under your watch. Over 1 million Americans died during COVID, and you spent most of that time fighting with doctors on Twitter. Asterisk Trump rolled his eyes and leaned into his mic. Wrong. Totally wrong. I handled COVID better than any world leader. People said that. I shut down flights from China. Asterisk, and then held rallies with no masks. Jasmine shot back. You downplayed the virus while knowing how dangerous it was. You told Bob Woodward the truth. In private, then lied to the public. Asterisk the audience began murmuring again. Crockett flipped another page in her folder. Asterisk, you also claimed you were going to drain the swamp, but your administration had the highest turnover rate in modern history, full of lobbyists, grifters, and people who either got indicted or ran for the hills. Asterisk Trump's face was now visibly red. You're being nasty. I'm not going to stand here and take insults from a lightweight. You're disrespectful. Asterisk Jasmine didn't flinch. What's disrespectful is trying to overturn an election because you lost. What's disrespectful is inviting people to the Capitol, then hiding in a dining room while they attacked police officers. That's not leadership. It's cowardice. Asterisk the moderator raised an eyebrow. The crowd erupted in a mix of applause and shocked laughter. Asterisk Trump pointed at Jasmine. You're talking about January 6th? That's old news. That was peaceful. Asterisk, peaceful? Jasmine laughed incredulously. Trump, they built a gallows outside. People were chanting to hang your own vice president. And you sat there rewinding footage like it was a movie you made. Asterisk Trump leaned away from the mic for a moment, and muttered something to his aide. Clearly rattled. Asterisk Jasmine tilted her head slightly, as if to offer him one last warning. You might be used to steamrolling people, but I don't scare easy. I came with facts, not fanfiction. Asterisk Trump waved a hand dismissively. This whole thing is a setup. You're a Democrat. You're trying to make this personal. Asterisk, it is personal, she said, locking eyes with him. To every family that lost someone to COVID because you lead. To every election worker you smeared. To every woman you mocked or mistreated. You made it personal a long time ago. Asterisk, the crowd went silent. Then, a slow, deliberate round of applause began to rise from the back of the room. It grew louder. Asterisk, Trump's mouth twitched. He straightened his tie, but didn't say a word. Asterisk Jasmine gently closed her folder and looked back at the moderator. Next question? Trump shifted uncomfortably behind his podium. His face was flushed now, a shade darker than his usual tan, and his bottom lip twitched slightly as he stared at Jasmine Crockett, who stood poised and unmoved. He looked out at the audience, expecting some sort of applause, a sympathetic face, maybe a nod from one of his loyalists. But the room was still, watching, waiting. Then, it happened. Asterisk, he slammed his hand on the podium. This is a disgrace. I've never been treated like this. Never. I've been president, okay? The best. And now I have to sit here and be ambushed by this woman? Asterisk Jasmine calmly turned her head, barely reacting, except for the faintest smile tugging at the corner of her lips. Asterisk Trump jabbed a finger in her direction. She's disrespectful, rude, shouldn't even be up here. This debate is rigged. Totally rigged. Asterisk, the moderator tried to intervene. Mr. Trump, please, let's try to stay within the bounds of respectful dialogue. Asterisk Trump wasn't listening. He yanked his microphone downward and leaned into it, voice rising with every word. Asterisk, I demand a new moderator. I want a new microphone. This one is terrible. Sounds terrible. And where's my Diet Coke? I asked for one before this started. Twice. Asterisk, the audience started laughing. Not with him at him. Asterisk, one person in the front row muttered just loud enough for others to hear. Is he having a meltdown? Asterisk, Trump's eyes darted across the room. You think this is funny? You think this is funny? I built this country. I gave you tax cuts. I got the gas prices down. I made America great again. Asterisk, Jasmine finally spoke, her tone low and surgical. You also made bleach a medical suggestion, tried to buy Greenland, and hid classified documents in your golf club's bathroom. The laughter was immediate and sharp. Trump's mouth dropped open. He looked stunned, like someone had unplugged him. He knocked over his water bottle, spilling it across his notes, then snapped it. An aide standing off stage. Get this cleaned up. What is this? Amateur hour? Asterisk, the moderator leaned forward, trying to wrest control of the situation. Mr. Trump, we need to continue the debate. Asterisk, no. Trump shouted, now red in the face and sweating. I won't be talked to like this. This is harassment. This is a political witch hunt with makeup. Asterisk, Jasmine raised a brow. Makeup? Asterisk, I mean, it's theater. Trump barked. All of it. Fake. Crooked. Asterisk, then, with a dramatic spin away from the podium, he threw his microphone to the floor. With a loud thud, waved his arms, and stormed off stage. Asterisk, cameras followed him as he disappeared behind the curtain, still muttering, total disgrace. Terrible production. I need a new team. Asterisk Jasmine stood quietly, hands folded. She turned to the moderator and with perfect timing said, was that the strength platform he keeps mentioning? Asterisk, the audience exploded. Applause, whistles. Laughter. Even the moderator smirked. Asterisk and Trump? Off somewhere backstage, yelling at someone about lighting conspiracies and deep state microphones. Backstage, Trump was pacing in circles like a bull denied the ring. His hair slightly out of place, tie crooked, and shirt stained with a splash of water. He barked orders at his aides, who stood stiff, afraid to speak. Asterisk. Why didn't anyone cut her mic? Huh? Where's the guy who handles the mics? Fired. He's fired. This whole network is a disaster worse than CNN. We're never doing this again. He ranted. Asterisk. One aide tried to hand him a towel. He slapped it away. Asterisk. She ambushed me, he continued, pointing wildly toward the stage. Jasmine Crockpot, or whatever total setup. Soros-funded smear machine. They'll regret this. Trust me. Meanwhile, the real storm was brewing online. Within minutes of his tantrum, clips from the debate were all over the internet. A 12-second snippet of Jasmine Crockett calmly stating, "You might be used to steamrolling people, but I don't scare easy," paired with Trump fumbling his microphone, had already hit 5 million views on TikTok. Asterisk. Another clip, Trump demanding a Diet Coke and storming off, was edited with dramatic violin music and slow-motion effects. The caption read, "When the vibes are off and your opponent has facts." Asterisk. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube were ablaze. Asterisk. Crockett clapback was trending #1 worldwide. Asterisk. Someone edited a side-by-side video. On one side, Jasmine calmly listing Trump's lies. On the other, Trump's face slowly melting into a baby filter, complete with a pacifier popping into his mouth. Asterisk. Late-night comedians were already weighing in. Asterisk. Trevor Noah. Trump said he wanted a Diet Coke. Next thing you know, he got served a full-course roast. Asterisk. Stephen Colbert. He left faster than he did on January 6th. And that's saying something. Asterisk. Even Fox News anchors were scrambling to spin it. One tried to claim the debate stage lights were intentionally unfair to Trump's skin tone. Asterisk. But it was no use. The damage was done. Asterisk. Back on stage, Jasmine Crockett stood confidently beside the moderator for closing remarks. Her posture was relaxed, but her words were sharp as ever. Asterisk. You can't fix the country if you can't take a question. Leadership isn't about yelling the loudest. It's about standing in the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Asterisk. The audience stood in a standing ovation that lasted over a minute. Asterisk. By the next morning, every news outlet had the same front-page headline, in some variation or another. Asterisk. Jasmine Crockett dismantles Trump in fiery debate showdown. Asterisk. Tantrum on live TV. Trump unravels under pressure. Asterisk. Truth versus Trump. Crockett doesn't blink. Asterisk. And while Trump was reportedly holed up in Mar-a-Lago with a phone in one hand and a list of potential lawsuits in the other, Jasmine Crockett was on every major morning show. Calm, smart, focused. Asterisk. She didn't need a victory lap. The country had already given it to her.